When it comes to Augusta, the real question is whether a 4-star weapon can actually keep up with her two 5-star options, including her supposed best in slot, Thunderflare Dominion. The numbers don't lie, and I've broken down 3 choices for her: the Battle Pass only Aureate Zenith, and the limited Thunderflare Dominion and Verdant Summit from the Gacha. The results might actually surprise you. To make it clearer, I'll also highlight each weapon's strengths and weaknesses in some detail so you can see exactly where each one shines and where it falls short. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? So, let's start with Augusta herself. Her Resonance Liberation, Sword of Eternal Oath, is the centerpiece of her kit, chaining multiple strikes into Sunborn and Everbright Protector for massive bursts of electro damage. The cooldown is 25 seconds, and with a energy cost of 125, you're cycling her bursts frequently. Add her 60% innate electro damage bonus and base stats of 463 attack and 150% crit damage, and you see immediately that Augusta thrives on heavy attack and burst amplification and increased crit stats. The weapons that enhance her burst or scale her heavy attack directly fit like a glove, and I will use these information and limit the buffs mostly only from her weapon. All external buffs will not be accounted in her final damage. Hopefully, we can get a clear picture of how her best 4-star option matches with the main 5-star options. But before we do that, how the heck are you gonna get these weapons if you don't even have the Battle Pass unlocked or extra asteroids to spend? That is why you have to click the link in my description to get up to 21% in discounts on your next WoA top-up with Loot Bar. It's cheaper than in-game top-ups and trusted with amazing reviews. It's safer than ever with their do-it-yourself self-top-up on mobile. Now, you can avail of discounts without even handing out your password. Go check it out. Click the links in my description for amazing top-up deals on Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, HSR, and Zenless Zone Zero, so you can finally get that limited time weapon or at least get the Battle Pass weapons. Now, back to the video. Aureate Summit, the humble 4-star Battle Pass weapon, gives 413 attack, 40.5% crit damage, and the passive that grants attack percentage and heavy attack bonus after casting her Liberation. At Refinement 1, this adds 7.2% attack and 10.8% heavy attack damage for 15 seconds, while in Refinement 5, pushes that to 23% attack and 34.5% heavy attack damage. The pros: extremely accessible, strong scaling with refinements, and crit damage always benefits Augusta's burst heavy kit. The cons: its base attack is much lower than the 5-star options, meaning it can feel underwhelming if you can't refine it. In testing, Zenith outputs roughly 38,000 non-crit and 129,000 crit damage at low refinements, climbing close to 166,000 crit at max refinement, with non-crit values reaching around 49,000. For a 4-star, that's some respectable value. Moving on to the best 5-star option, Verdant Summit. Originally Gian's signature, it stands tall with 588 attack and a jaw-dropping 48.6% crit damage. Its passive grants 12% attribute bonus damage, and after casting Intro or Liberation, you gain up to 48% heavy attack damage bonus when fully stacked. The pros: extremely consistent uptime, massive crit damage synergy, and it makes Augusta's heavy attack hit like thunderclaps. The cons: no defense shreds, and while it's excellent for Augusta, you may prefer to keep it on Gian if you use both. Math puts Verdant Summit at roughly 56,000 non-crit and 196,000 crit damage, edging out the others in raw crit numbers but not quite matching Thunderflare's defense ignore advantage in practice. And finally, Thunderflare Dominion. Augusta's signature 5-star and widely considered her best in slot. It brings a base attack of 675 plus 12.2% crit rate and a passive that increases attack by 12% and heavy attack damage by 20% for 15 seconds after using her resonance skill. The hidden dagger here is the defense ignore effect. Whenever Augusta gains a shield, her heavy attack ignores up to 36% of enemy defense at full stacks. The pros: unrivaled scaling and real-world damage because defense ignore is one of the strongest multipliers in the game. The cons: the biggest issue against this weapon is its low crit rate substat. Still, Thunderflare consistently delivers about 54,000 non-crit and 162,000 crit damage. And with shields in play, the real values spike much higher. With the 36% defense ignore fully stacked, Thunderflare Dominion's effective output rises by about 36%, pushing it closer to 73,000 at non-crit and up around to 220,000 in crit damage, in theory. So, what's the final verdict? If you want the absolute top tier weapon and can build around a shielder, Thunderflare Dominion is Augusta's undisputed best choice. If you want massive crit spikes and don't mind missing out on defense shreds, Verdant Summit turns Augusta into a heavy attack crit monster. And for those F2Ps or dolphins who are willing to purchase a battle pass once in a while, Aureate Zenith at higher refinements holds its own surprisingly well and makes Augusta shine far brighter than you'd expect from any 4-star weapon. So, here's a quick strengths and weaknesses breakdown for each option. Aureate Zenith: strengths, accessible only through the battle pass, great crit damage scaling, strong at high refinements. Weaknesses: low base attack, heavily reliant on refinements to compete and can only be obtained through the monthly battle pass. Next, Verdant Summit: strengths, excellent crit damage bonus, consistent heavy attack boosts, and high raw crit numbers. Weaknesses: lacks defense shred, competes with Gian for best use, only truly optimal if you don't need Thunderflare's unique mechanic. And last but not least, the Thunderflare Dominion. Strengths: highest base attack, valuable crit rate, defense ignore effect makes damage skyrocket, and perfect synergy if you activate Augusta's shield. Weaknesses: the crit rate substat is quite too low for a 5-star option, which means you have to invest more on your echoes, and we know what kind of a nightmare that is. Bottom line, Thunderflare dominates the meta. Verdant Summit is the stylish second best option that provides all her basic needs. And finally, Aureate Zenith is the 4-star hero that still delivers top tier results, especially with higher investments. The weapon you choose depends on your team comp, your resources, and how much you're willing to gamble on the gacha. This is why clicking the loot bar link in my description will surely help you out with massive discounts. And before I end this video, do follow my other channel, Vector Wuwa, for more discussions and guides about Wuthering Waves. The link is in the description. So, if this video resonated with you, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also, consider hitting that notification bell so you don't miss future video drops. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I'll see you in the next drop. Goodbye.